Hello out there in Rando Land. I am Neon Tiger, and welcome to Qualifier number 3 for the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament. Doing Cross Hunt today, and I'm joined by Blue Link. How you doing, Blue?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited for this tournament to get going in earnest, and Cross Hunt is my new favorite mode.
Yeah, I am very excited to see this play out because it's like cross keys but better is the way I would describe it. We'll talk a little bit more about that for some of you who are new to this mode in a little bit, but we are restreaming a couple of perspectives today. We have on the left Structural Mike and on the right Magno. So we are two runners to take us through this seed this afternoon and or morning if you're me.
Yeah, and these two are excellent runners. They've been around for quite a while, and we are looking forward to an exciting race, hopefully.
Yeah, this should be very, very fun. So we'll get started here in just a moment. But I think we can talk a little bit about the tournament here. So we've got all these qualifiers that are going on. We have 12 of them going on. 2 of them obviously completed. We're on number 3 today. Next one will be on Tuesday. And our runners are putting in, I think, I'm trying to remember. I'll take a look at the notes real quick here about how many they have to run. But they have to run a set amount of these to qualify for the tournament. So, and here we go. All right, so we've got Mike starting at his house, and Magno is already in the Dark World.
Yeah, it's a little funny when you realize you can't open the Sanctuary chest, because this is the only Dark World location that the Sanctuary can end up at.
Absolutely, but it's going to be Quake instead for Magno on the Pyramid. And of course, just to talk real quick about the game mode here while we're taking a look at everything. Magno getting that piece of heart. It's in the house. And Mike's going to Sanctuary. But this game mode, Cross Hunt, is basically cross keys, but with Triforce Hunt mixed in. So our runners are going to need 10 of the 12 Triforce pieces, which you can see kind of right above the health bar there on their screens. They have that 0/0/10. So they have to get 10 of the 12 pieces to be able to beat Ganon. There are 10 pieces, 1 on each boss, and there's also 2 of them in Ganon's Tower, 1 on each of the mini bosses in there. So Ice Armos has 1, and Moldorm 2 also has 1.
Yeah, so it gives the runners a little bit of choice as to what goals they want to pursue, and the pendants versus crystals aren't nearly as important. Of course, they still can be.
Yeah, we're just seeing a lot of early resets back to house here. Everyone kind of trying to look for some items for progression. Not really finding a whole lot right now. We've just got that Quake medallion. Magno is going to be opening up this dark cave. Okay, interesting to see. Tree pole is just rupees there.
Yeah, I think 1 rupee for the tier 1 and 5 rupees for the tier 2.
Yep. So lots of good money opportunities there if you need it. If you need to go buy something, but yeah, I don't know. We'll probably find plenty of rupees hanging out in chests and whatnot. That's usually the name of the game.
Okay, so Magno found the old man cave and successfully navigated it, and is on his way to the mountain here.
Getting 10 arrows for rescuing the old man. And hey, it's C-shaped house. Hello. And now Mike's going through the rescue here. Gonna be heading the same spot. Oh, that's the back half of Turtle Rock.
And Structural Mike has found his long-lost brother.
I just noticed he is the old man. So twinsies. Of course, we're seeing Magno go into Spectacle Rock here. Looking for locations, looking for items. Got 50 rupees there on top of the rock. There's Hookshot Cave. We don't have anything to get across that. Hey, Sasrilla's hut. Family heirloom is in Thieves Town, but one of the interesting things, pendants don't matter as much in this game mode because of the Triforce requirement.
Yeah, yeah, the pendants only matter really for green pendant, of course, pulling pedestal, and then pyramid fairy entrance is available from the 2 red crystals. It actually makes the crystals a little bit less valuable than the pendants, which is a little bit backwards.
Yeah, it's usually the other way around. We usually see those, hunting down those crystals first over pendants, unless there's a specific reason that you have to get it, like you're forced along an item chain to go get one, or you've basically run out of locations to check, and it's like the next logical step, or that there's something that's going to be required on ped. But yeah, it's a very interesting little bit of a switch here, and that's one of the cool things about this game, about this tournament with the qualifiers, is there's a lot of different game modes. So there's there's game modes you may not be as good at, and there's maybe ones that you are really good at. So you kind of have to hedge your bets a little bit on which qualifiers you want to run, and figure out as best you can, figure out how you want to try and make your way into the tournament.
Well, speaking of rupees, Magno's being reduced to using the 50 rupee cave there. Meanwhile, Structural Mike just found Ganon's tower.
This is, even finding this stuff, if you can't get to it right now, is really good. Gives you an idea of, if you're making notes and stuff, of where you want to go back to, because you're going to have to go back to GT at some point. You're going to have to find all these dungeon locations again. Like, hey, there's the back entrance to Turtle Rock, where you can find Trinex. Hey, there's a shield. But yeah, knowing these locations is super important. Here's Compass of Eastern Palace. And hey, here's Moon Pearl. That's a good find there on the back half of TR. And the boots, yeah, wow,
wow.
Yeah, that's a good call there from Magno. So hopefully we'll see. We should see Mike here. Small key to Castle Tower, but we should see Mike go down there in just a moment. Looks like he's just kind of routing the opposite direction that Magno's going. So we'll cross paths here, and we'll see Small key at Dark Palace on the Bottle Salesman. And a little bit of a cross-game high five there as Mike goes out and Magno goes in. They both find that little fairy fountain. Yeah, now we're seeing Mike go ahead and go into the back of TR. We'll get those items that Magno just picked up. And does take a death, but that's okay. I mean, the hook shot here will make this a little bit easier. I got the boots too now, so here we go. Yeah, those lasers are mean, especially since you don't have a shield to block them with.
Yeah, we need a couple better shields. I mean, we can try to block them.
But having that hook shot right now actually may be a little bit more of an advantage for mobility for Mike. Obviously has the stun as well, but the boots, it's kind of negated a bit, but still not a bad thing to have. Ooh! Hello, Misery Mire. And Magno was just kind of poking around in here, looking to see if there's any key items.
Well, we have 4 different dungeons, including 2 entrances to Turtle Rock and Kakariko Village alone. Not much we can do in them yet, but they'll be easily accessible in the future.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that you want to find these dungeons in these easily accessible locations, especially like Kakariko. It would not be the worst thing in the world to have multiple dungeons that are relatively close to one another, because it kind of makes it easy, especially when you get to go mode, if you haven't gone to those dungeons, to go through them all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're seeing Magno, of course, go back through to Sasriel's hut. So with this being cross keys as well, one of the things to keep in mind, not only the fact that they're going to need keys from different places to get into dungeons, is that the dungeon locations themselves, as we've seen, are going to be in different spots, which may or may not change the requirements for getting into those dungeons. So you may be able to access certain dungeons and complete them that you otherwise wouldn't normally be able to do.
Yep, that's one of my favorite things about cross keys. And Magno wisely taking that hookshot straight to Hookshot Cave. There just wasn't anything of value there.
It's good to have that off your card right now. Oh! Well, that's going to be a bit of a pain to get back into, huh?
Oh,
Ooh.
That's a nice mirror.
Yeah, especially with the Moon Pearl, that'll be super helpful for Mike to have that now. Finding that in the library.
Yeah, having early Dark World access like we do with the Sanctuary start, it's having the mirror just saves you a headache later.
Yeah, the more it's kind of a double-edged sword. The more mobility options you have, the less stuff you're going to get stuck on and waste time doing, but the more things are opened up. So it simultaneously could be like, yeah, this gives me a lot of options and gives me a lot of things I can do and prevents me from getting stuck in certain places. But also you can get yourself easily stuck somewhere by following a bad breadcrumb somewhere else.
Oh, that's convenient. A fire rod in Skull Woods.
Not in the intended chest, but yes, that is super convenient, and that will be super helpful for Magno as well. I'm sure may go open up the boss back end of Skull Woods now, just to give that kind of a alternate way to get back to Light World without having to use the mirror, which Magno does not have.
Yeah, I think it was a good well, of course, it turned out to be a good decision, but I think clearing South Kakariko Village, the library, and all that from Structural Mike was probably a better decision than rushing Hookshot Cave than like Magno did.
Yeah, we are getting to see some of the additional Skull Woods chests here, which gives us the Compass of Ice Palace and the Red Meringue. And we are now seeing Mike go into the back half of Turtle Rock here. Leaf Sound map on Magno's side. Half magic. Not required, but always helpful. And Magno's going to do a Death Warp.
And an interesting fact that this mode uses a different branch of the randomizer, and it does not have that guaranteed Skullwood small key in the pinball chest.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, there was an exhibition race for this mode some time ago, and I got to commentate with Malmo, who's the one who came up with this mode, so I learned a lot about the internals of how the randomizer does stuff.
That is awesome. It's kind of cool to see the I guess you could to use a term, like you get to see how the sausage is made. There's a big key on the other side of that gap there. But Magno's gonna
Oh, this is nice. Nicely
go across.
done.
Yeah, nicely done. Big key for Skull Woods.
Yeah, so if you've been following the Cross Keys tournament, hovering was banned in that one, but not in the main tournament.
With I will say with an exception, because you're not going to be able to hover the Moldorm 2 gap anymore. So that is one of the changes that has been made to the rule set. But yeah, in general, most of the hoverable things are still hoverable.
I think all the changes
That was
to
reverted?
rules were reverted back to the basic rules.
Oh yeah, you're right. I missed that.
Yeah, not chat's confirming that for us.
Yep, that was reverted. That was going to be a thing, but now it is not a thing. So please ignore what I said. You can still hover it if you want to.
Looks like Magno is setting up a death warp here, potentially to save scum that small key.
That's one of the things you'll see in any of these cross keys or related modes. You'll see a lot of scumming to save keys just in case you might need one. It's better to a lot of these cases to save a key than to use one and realize you don't need it now, but you needed it for something else. It is a GT big key in the ice cave. That's important. The ice cave that is on Eastern Death Mountain.
I bet Magno's wishing he had the mirror right about now.
Yeah. I think even not knowing what we're knowing, that might be just something that would make this a lot easier.
I do like this from Magno because, of course, with Sanctuary being at the pyramid, you're not likely going to drop into the back of Escape to get those 3 chests. So you may as well take that small key and check what those items are, but he did do the save and quit so he can scum that key if he really wants to.
And Zahasrala's hut has been replaced by a Great Fairy. And this is always one of the real interesting dark rooms to go into, Dark Cross. It's not super difficult. There's a chest hiding back there. I don't think we saw an item out of that, so it's probably nothing important.
Magno needs to be a little careful here on one heart, so he's making good use of that Burna.
Now using the fire rod to light up the torches and to light up the rats, just for safety's sake.
And Spiral Cave had the book.
Could be useful.
Well, the back of Escape's not worth it. Magno is thinking he's going to reset. Yeah, I don't mind this. Oh, chat's pointing out a fun fact. So, when you enter Hyrule Castle from the Dark World, those vermin enemies are set to their Dark World states, and they deal 2 hearts of damage like the crickets do in Thieves' Town. So that's why Magno really needed to be careful there and not take a hit. And Structural Mike picking up some bombs there. We have not seen a lot of bombs, like at all. Magno into Blind's house, and just like Structural Mike, I don't think he's not going to have a bomb to get to the back there.
So yeah, I think looking at the items we've gotten so far, we really don't have a clear direction yet. But we do have a lot of places to go and check. So I think we're going to see Mike and Magno kind of do that a lot here for the next little bit. Oh, speaking of hovering, is Mike
Okay,
gonna?
this is insane.
Yeah, I think is Mike gonna hover this gap? Holy cow!
Wow.
Wow!
Well done.
All right, and now comes the difficult part. Oh, yeah, this one's gonna be a little bit tougher. Not impossible, but
Oh my goodness. Well, it was a valiant effort. Oh no, wait, he's got a fairy, so this is gonna cost a little more time.
yeah. He's still getting another chance here, though, which is pretty cool. Yeah, these hovers are so difficult. It's like the longer distance you have to go, it's so much easier to, the drop in input. And oh my gosh, holy cow.
Wow.
Basically every gap in this game is hoverable, but I just never, situationally, it's not usually something that you're going to see is a hover across to get that key or whatever's in that chest.
Wow, that was an absolute privilege to get to see.
It was. Yeah, so I think that means there's still one more chest that's left in the front of Turtle Rock to pick up, but probably will not see Mike try and hover that gap. That is a significant gap. You'd have to hover around with the fire rod. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing. So you probably won't see him go back for that one till he's got the Cane of Samaria.
Okay, Ganon is at the Sanctuary. So the Sanctuary and Ganon just swap places.
The true final boss, the old man. We are getting to see all the Kakariko well pickups. Here's Bo. Hi, Bo. Not a whole lot there, but never a bad idea to get an extra heart, some extra spending cash.
Well, that was a really nice water walk setup using the hole there.
That was super clean from Mike. Really, really nicely done.
Okay, Structural Mike has found himself at the Curiosity Shop.
We don't normally get to see that. That's not normally a thing you would see in any sort of randomizer. Except for any sort of cross keys or any other of the similar modes where you're kind of going back and forth between all these various entrances and exits. I will admit I sometimes forget that place exists.
Structural Mike found the bomb shop and found out that Mire and Turtle Rock are the 5-6 crystals today.
Good info to know. And the large fairy is giving out red potions.
Alright, Magno is into the dark maze in Castle Tower. He just wants that second chest. And he wants that bomb, but he's not going to get it. And Magno is about to find his mirror. Structural Mike with the medium dip into Eastern.
And Mike is going into Eka Tower here. There is a chest in here, so this is worth the trip if just check it out. We did get to see a little bit of a variance there. Mike using the Key and Burna, and we saw Magno do it earlier with the Fire Rod. Both accomplished the same job. Of course, just that piece of heart there. Mike going back to the Dark World. Magno still.
Oh, yeah, going back to Death Mountain.
I was gonna say Magno still has not gone and picked up the mirror from K45 yet. Has not been down to that part of the map.
No, he just got it.
Oh, just got it? Ah, okay. Yep. I just missed that then. Let's paying too much attention to Mike, sorry.
Yeah, that's cross keys, right?
It is, yeah. Rupees, just couch cash on one of our two medallions. Good old Ether. Mike is doing some digging. Let's see what we got here in the digging game. Just some bombs. Yeah, we'll still pick them up anyways. Why not?
This is some really, really appropriate digging game music. I like it.
And Magno has just found Swamp.
Oh, and here's the dam. Really poorly located.
Yeah, it's got the big key of Swamp Palace. Huh.
That's convenient.
It's convenient. It's almost a little too convenient, Blue. Don't you think?
Kind of suspicious, yeah.
Yeah, I would say a little suspicious. We are technically, I still think, missing the flippers for that dungeon, but yeah, it seems to kind of be a hint that Swamp may be somewhere you want to go in the near future once you find them.
Okay, Structural Mike is definitely going to go for this.
Alright, that one's a little easier. And with the keeping Skull Woods up Mike, and the prompts Mike to clear out Skull Woods when he finds that entrance. Or just goes back to Dark World and goes there. Meanwhile, Magno's in Paradox Cave. Here a map. Ooh, level 2 sword.
That's really nice.
Yep, Master Sword for Magno.
I mean, how often do you get a sword before half an hour in cross keys?
Depends on the seed, if it's being nice or not, but never going to say no to more sword.
Oh, and another fun difference in this mode, the door to GT is open without 7 crystals.
Indeed, because it might not actually be GT.
And Structural Mike is taking the small key in Hyrule Castle down to Zelda's cell. Now, this is still not in logic without the actual Hyrule Castle small key, but it is a new check.
Is the big key of this dungeon. Huh, who would have guessed? Oh, this ice cave has grown up and become Ice Palace.
Huh, you know, I didn't even realize that. That's kind of funny.
It's like a Pokemon evolution. It just got incredibly, incredibly harder. Of course, that's one of those things Mike will need a fire rod or bombos to be able to go in there and actually complete that dungeon. Magno already has the fire rod and half magic, so that should make that a little bit less of a pain to get to when he finds it. We are at the just past the 30-minute mark here on this seed. So, and both runners here making pretty good progress, I would say. With these cross keys and cross hunt game modes, you will take a little bit more time and do a little bit more investigating out in the world.
So Structural Mike gave us a look at the entrance to Mimic Cave that Magno wasn't able to because he didn't have a mirror at the time. It's Desert West, and we already have the main entrance to Desert, so this isn't going to hurt Magno.
No. Oh, the hammer, though. Yeah, that's helpful. That does give Mike something that he can use in lieu of not having a sword yet. Hammer can do damage, so that will be helpful for some boss fights in case he does not find a sword.
And you know what? Structural Mike has 3 small keys and the big key to Pod. He's got the hammer and the bow. He could actually beat this dungeon.
Good, yeah. I think Blue. I think that might be what the option is here, or at least to kind of clear out a significant chunk of it. But I would suspect probably beating it is the likely decision here.
Oh, we're gonna see this hover too. We're spoiled. I mean, wow! Look at this. Excellent form. Well done.
Yeah, he says you got to go all the way down and around. If you can just hover over the gap, you can just bypass all of that. I think he's going straight back to the boss, the Helmasaur.
Yeah, this is a little more efficient because you can mirror out of the back then and leave.
Yeah. So basically, he's going to go. For those who are unfamiliar with, who may be unfamiliar, I know we have a lot of familiar faces in the chat, so hi everyone chat. But for those who may not know what Mike's doing here, he's going to go down to Helmasaur King, beat Helmasaur King, and then that will spit him back out at the the outside of the entrance here, and he'll just go back in and clear out the back half, which should be pretty easy. We might even get to see another hover if we're lucky enough.
We also saw Magno just stop for 10 arrows in the Hera basement cage. And Magno actually has a weapon that can kill Moldorm, so he's going to go ahead and Hera pot.
Nicely done. Good Hera pot there. Also going to take advantage to maybe clean up some of the other chests and stuff that are floating around here. Why not? Reduce the number of times you have to come back. If you can do it in one go, get it done. Get it cleared in one go.
Structural Mike is bonking around in the dark. He's gotten a few of the dark turtles. I think there's one left. He's on 2 hearts. He has a red potion.
I was gonna say that's kind of smart there. He's using the cane here to try and also using the hook shot here to try and get it to plink off of the Helmosaur so that he can flip over the turtle and kill it. And Magno making very quick work of Moldorm there. So very nicely done. Can't get anything else in that dungeon, so we'll just hop out and go back to do more stuff. But yeah, Mike here, this is definitely one of the using that cane again. Oh, I was using the cane to keep himself safe there. Going across, nicely done. But yeah, that when you don't have any sort of light source, that room is so difficult, because once those Helmosaurs get going, once the turtles get going, it's just really, really difficult to be able to pinpoint them when you've lost track of where they're all hiding at.
Yep, that is very true.
Yep, and of course Helmosaur King, there is, when he does that triple fireball, there is a safe spot you can always stand and that will hit you, which is, if you think of the shape of like the 3 and the Triforce piece and the crystal, but if you think of the 3 fireballs as a triangle or as like an inverted T shape, if you stand kind of where the 2 lines in the T meet, the fireballs will always go around you. So, pro tip.
Magno is climbing GT right now. We do have 2 small keys and the big key.
Interesting choice. Not necessarily interesting in a bad way, just interesting because there's not a lot of chests up here.
Okay, our tracker Ike, you're reminding me, I've forgotten what this mode is. The chest after Moldorm 2 is a Triforce piece, one of the 10.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
So this makes total sense. Yes,
yeah.
Good job, Magno.
Yeah, why not? I said that at the beginning, and I also forgot that for a moment. But yeah, why not? You get yourself a free Triforce piece right now, and bump that up to 2 out of 10 that you need.
Although, I mean, this is kind of brave with this equipment. He did make a point of buying a red potion before coming here, so he does have some safeties.
Little under geared for what we would normally see for a gauntlet run here, but A, more than capable, and B, I think this probably will just be a more than anything else, it'll just be kind of a, if any sort of loss, it'll be just a little bit of a time loss. I mean, you're gonna have to do this anyways at some point, so doing it now doesn't really hurt you too much unless there's something that you really, really, really need. But yeah, if Magno goes up and does this, I imagine probably will be minimal, if no time loss. But
that was some slick arrow firing.
Yeah, very slick. Good call on that. Yeah, through the most satisfying room in the game, part 1 and part 2. There we go.
Okay, so the back of pod had the Eastern Big and some assorted other things, which makes Eastern now full clearable for structural mic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Magno is doing a really good job climbing the tower here. So, any concerns about this? I think really being there's the third sword. So that'll
That's
be,
really nice.
yeah, that'll be super helpful. Having 3 swords. Mike doesn't have any swords yet. Still has not found any of the 3 that Magno's uncovered. But that will be super helpful. Every little bit of extra damage you can get is going to be a-okay, I'm sure, by Magno standard. Yeah,
Nicely done.
Super quick work. Oh, don't you dare, Magno. You don't have to do that. You got the hook shot.
Oh, we just saw the Sanctuary chest from Structural Mike 40 minutes into this race.
Nice.
Hang on. Magno already knows that the back of escape was nothing.
Yes. Yeah, Magno went to the back of escape. Didn't find anything there. Some little bits and bobs, but nothing too important. And Agita's cave for Mike, and it's just got some rupees.
Okay, I think it's more likely I'm missing something than Magno making a mistake here, but I don't know why he's doing this.
My guess would be just to get this out of the way now, so you don't have to climb the tower a second time. Because
that's the thing, we don't need to climb the tower.
No, that's true.
And this takes him to the top of the pyramid, but we already had the Sanctuary start there. Well, we'll have to ask him about that in the interview.
Yeah, I'm sure there's for Magno, I'm sure there's a logical reason why he chose that path, because usually these runners are very, they know their tactics, they don't know the seeds, but they know how to navigate around what the seed throws at them. So there may have been a strategy behind that we were just kind of not privy to. But yeah, we'll definitely find out post run about that. It could also just be we've had runners tell us this before. They just they're just so used to doing it. It's like a mechanical thing for them, and they just kind of like are so focused that they sometimes forget, and that's okay. That happens literally to the best of the runners out there. It's really easy to do when you run a lot of these seeds. Just kind of get in the groove, and you kind of have this. Oh, I do A, B, C, and then I do D. Even though I don't have to do D, this time around. And then,
Yeah, that is very true. You also hear sometimes runners, saying after the race, they're like, oh yes, I knew I didn't need to do this, and I told myself not to do it, but then I got there, and then I did it automatically.
Yep. And Mike is taking Kiki over to open up Dark Palace, despite the fact that Palace of Darkness has already been completed. And it's a big key in Checkerboard Cave.
Tahara, okay.
It'll be very interesting to see what is in that Hera big chest. We did not see that because Magno did not have the Hera big key at that time. So if it's something important, that could end up being a huge bit of a problem for Magno. It could also be nothing. So we know that the dam is not in the dam, but what's in the dam? Just a fairy.
Okay, so we're going to need 10 Triforce pieces. We have 3 different ones between our 2 runners. As soon as Magno gets that hammer, he will be able to do left side GT and then get 1 Triforce piece behind Armos Knights. Eastern is... Oh, there's flippers on Desert Ledge. Eastern's clearable for Structural Mike. We have not found the back of Skull Woods. We haven't found Thieves Town or the back of Desert. That hammer will also make ice clearable for Magno, but we are still looking for a few more things to be able to finish this seed.
Let's see what we got in these chests. Anything here of value? Nothing so far. Nope. Just a bunch of rupees. And more rupees for Magno.
Oh, chat reminding us, no glove. Classic cross keys mistake. You need a glove to be able to drop into Cold Stare for Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the glove is kind of I think the big thing that we're missing. Both runners have hook shot, so that should not be an issue for getting in Misery Mire. We would need flippers if we have to go into Swamp Palace, but I don't know that we do. Obviously, with all of the Triforce options, we're going to probably skip 2 of them. So perhaps we just skip Swamp Palace if we don't need to go there.
Well, speaking of left side GT, Structural Mike is going to go ahead and do that. Now, Magno saw a big key on Zora Ledge, so he's going to go for the Splash Delete and gets it. That's one of the harder Splash Deletes to do because of the timing. GT has all the heart containers.
Nice. But also getting that Desert Palace big key for Magno, that will be somewhat important, perhaps?
Yes. I don't think he's found either of the known entrances to Desert Palace yet. One was at the Arrow minigame, the other one at Mimic Cave. But when he does, he'll get that hammer and then also get to check the big chest.
And Mike, meanwhile, picking up the 3rd and 4th bottles in GT, so we are all bottled up here. Magno is, meanwhile, poking around Paradox Cave. Again. Looks like just to go through it. Here's the Desert Palace compass.
Now, I'm wondering something. Structural Mike is in GT now. There are 2 Triforce pieces here. Is he going to dare climbing GT without a sword?
He might. I mean, he's hovering gaps that we don't normally see people hover. Why not? It might be one of those, I'm here, and if I think I can do it, I might go for it. situations.
Now, a useful thing, Magno found a mire connector from Paradox Cave and was able to mirror and get those flippers.
Yep, and Ether is the mire entrance. Ooh, it's mushroom.
Yay!
Good news, we have the mushroom. Bad news, where's the witch at? So now we're going to see, looks like Ice Armos from Mike. Everyone's favorite holiday ice skating show. And we found the Compass of Skull Woods and that Triforce piece. But nope, gonna mirror out, and it looks like go do something else.
This is totally understandable, and GT's just in Kakariko, so it's not going to take you time to get back there, really.
No, plus you probably have a couple other dungeons in Kakariko that you're thinking you might want to hit up. With those couple that are grouped close together, you're probably trying to maximize efficiency here and hit up multiple dungeons at the same time. Nope, Fluffy Mitten pointing out a very good point there. Mike also just proved me wrong. The witch is where the witch usually is. We need to find where the potion shop is.
Oh, okay.
See what we got here in King's Tomb. It's Sick Kid.
Oh, that's morbid.
No, not yet.
Also, why does he have a key to Ganon's tower?
Maybe that's why he's sick.
Ooh.
It's the lore, the deep lore. Graveyard Ledge check from Mike, which is the Dark World Shooting Gallery.
Okay, so Magno is not going to go into ice. Oh yeah, he still doesn't have the hammer, of course. So both runners have managed to dodge some pretty important items. Structural Mike is going to find his fire rod, though.
And Mike finding out the hard truth that back of Skull, the back half of Skull Woods just leads to Hookshot Cave.
And Fairy Ascension Cave has the always funny desert east exit. Ped is dead, just a bunch of rupees.
Yep. Probably a good idea to check. Never hurts. Might as well. just to make sure that you don't need to do all the fun ped work just to get up there to pull something that you've been looking for the last 53 minutes. And the big 50 in the Skull Woods chest. So Mike kind of cleaning up some of the stuff we've already seen from Magno earlier. So, yeah, not a whole lot here. Gonna find that half magic in just a little bit if we do a full clear. Which will be, yep, just about now. Will be welcome, but not required. But still welcome.
Okay, Structural Mike has returned to Hera. He will be able to give us that big chest check, like you said.
This will be very interesting here to see if there's anything in that chest that Magno's going to want to go back and get. There's a distinct possibility because we have not checked it, and we're still missing a few items. Nope.
Well, that's disappointing.
I'm out here theory crafting, and I immediately get shot down. Thanks, Seed. Thanks for making me look dumb. But Mike's going to go ahead here and clear Moldorm. This should be a pretty quick and easy fight, just to get this out of the way. And this will mean Hera is clear, and Mike doesn't have to come back here. Gonna use the teeny tiny hammer.
Nicely done. And
Yes.
he is going to take the Triforce piece lead.
Yep. As well. And pick up a crystal while he's at it. But avoided getting checked into the boards, avoided getting sent to the penalty box. Very effective fight. So I'm really curious here to see where Mike goes next, just based on what he's got. Do we see a play into one of the dungeons? Are we going to see some locations that haven't been checked yet? Magno's going to Eastern.
How far is he going to dip is my question.
You know, that's my question as well. I kind of wonder if we're going to see, as the kids call it, the full Eastern play here. And Mike is also going into Eastern, so, well, let's see how this shakes out.
Oh, that was the Sank Heart.
Yep. Sank Heart. Not required, but nobody's going to really turn down a free heart, I feel like.
Yeah, especially with the mirror, we don't need to worry about death warping. Oh,
Hey!
that was just here?
Yeah.
The entire time. That has to feel bad.
Magno will have the fourth sword here in just a moment. Mike's got one, though, on the board.
Wow.
Going through and picking up that key.
Well, I guess while we have a moment to muse, two of the swords that Structural Mike has been missing this entire time were in Paradox Cave. The three entrances were in Mire, Ganon's Tower, and Lake Hylia Island. And of course, Lake Hylia Island's out of logic without the flippers that were on Desert Ledge that Magno got by going to Mire through Paradox Cave. So, how are we logically supposed to actually get there?
I don't know. There's got to be a method to it that maybe there's an item that we just haven't got. Like you know, like there's something hiding somewhere in the location we haven't checked yet.
Our tracker Ike here pointing out that Lake Hylia Island is accessible by mirroring from the Ice Palace entrance, and there was a connector that got us out that entrance. I just don't remember which one.
That's Ike here on point. That is probably the intended path to do that.
Because that is some pretty nasty logic burying those two swords.
Yeah, meanwhile, Magno has dipped from Eastern and now is in Mire. So we are seeing Mike go ahead and just finish out the dungeon here, get that Triforce piece, and probably will be shortly off to Mire as well, I would assume. Oh, now you're going to wait. You're just going to mirror. Gets the Triforce piece and is like, peace.
You know, I'm wondering, as players get more comfortable with this mode, are they going to be more aggressive about mirroring out of the Eastern and Desert
I think
arenas?
so.
Because those are the only two you can do that in.
I think so. I think because it's a pretty substantial time save to do that. I think they'll probably do that. Hey, there's Bombos.
Oh yeah, of course. You can also mirror out of Hera if you fall after beating Muldorm. Thank you, Ikir.
And all these, it's like all these little efficiencies, even if they save a second here, a second there, they all add up over time if you're doing these things properly. You're gaining a little bit of time here and there against everybody else that's running this, so it'll be very interesting to see if we do see the back half of Desert Palace, if we see one or both runners decide to do that. Of course, that's a big if we even see them go fight Nemolas.
Oh, here's Thieves Down. Yes, Mirror Shield. Oh, Silver Arrows in Mire. All the goods.
All the good things now. Yeah, we're starting to get to that point where the... Oh, it's Ice Rod, so that's Trinex is now opened up. But now we're kind of starting to see the point where the item table is being somewhat depleted as far as like chests that you have left to check and things that you're missing, so you can kind of start to expect that there's the TT Big Key is in Mire, so we will not see Mike go to the back half here. Yeah, we're starting to get to that point where locations are starting to be depleted to look for items. So you kind of have, if you're say looking for the mitts, you have fewer and fewer and fewer locations where they can possibly be, and it's both a good thing and a bad thing, because especially in a mode like this, it can get really difficult sometimes to keep track of where you have been and where you haven't been if you lose track of like one or two things.
Okay, Magno had better come back to Desert after doing the dig game. And Structural Mike just finding all the dungeons.
Yep. Yeah, so we still do need to find the big key for TR to really be able to go do Trinex, but we have all of the tools at least now. We know where they're at. So now it's just a matter of figuring out where that TR big key is hiding at. And also, we are going to see Mike probably go ahead and take care of Mothula here.
You know, I wanted to say something about Samaria, but I honestly would not be surprised if Structural Mike, when the TR Big shows up, if he just hovered the gap to try next.
Yeah, it's doable. Have I seen it done? Yeah. Is it impressive? Yeah. Is it easy? No. Yeah, he's having to use hammer here for.
Nicely done, though.
Yep. Nicely done.
And that's a 5-2 Triforce piece lead.
Yeah, Mike's just going through here, I think, completing dungeons that he knows he can complete just to get the Triforce pieces, which is not a bad idea. There's the mitts.
Vanilla Glove? Wow.
What are the odds? There is like an actual mathematical odds. Do not tell me the odds. I'm kidding.
I mean, forgetting about conditional probabilities and all that, it's probably 2 out of 216, right?
Yeah, probably. Seeing K45 check. What's in K45? Why? It's the longhouse. Yeah, Mike is gonna spit out on top of floating island here. Picking up
Okay,
some...
well, this is how you get to Paradox Cave, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, which connector was that?
Yeah,
oh no, Structural Mike's taking Various Engine Cave.
Oh no. Yeah, blue mail.
Okay, thank you, Chad. Desert East.
Yes. Yeah, went out the right side of desert there to get to the top of Dark Death Mountain. All of that, and where does that right side of desert take you to? Right side of desert.
That's actually kind of funny.
It is kind of funny. Just a very, very elongated exit.
You know, I'm wondering something. The fact about GT being open in this mode might not be well known among runners yet.
Mm-hmm. The Magno just did pick up the Turtle Rock Big Key.
Oh, he's going.
Yep.
This is good. This is good. Unless he mirrors first, he's not going to. Okay, good. Good.
All right, there we go. Getting the Paradox Cave. Finally going to pick up some of those extra items that we've seen Magno with for a bit. Specifically the swords. You know, Magno is going to be collecting some of the GT left side stuff that we saw Mike grab earlier. And now Mike's got the tempered sword. Gearing out to go to Mimic Cave here. And picking up the Desert Palace small key.
That's a useful one.
Yep. Kind kind of wonder if he's going to read that and maybe think, okay, do I want to go to Desert Palace now that I have that small key? He's going to find some rupees here on Ether, which Magno used the book earlier to read when he could not activate it.
Okay, so as it stands, Structural Mike has no more completable dungeons. Meanwhile, Magno can do Pod, where he'll get the Eastern Big, then could do Eastern. If we can find the back of Desert, he could do that. Magno now has Swamp available. Skullwoods and Thieves, when he finds them, are both completable for him as well.
Yeah, so Magno's in a pretty good situation if he decides to do some dungeon hunting here. It can probably close the gap up a little bit to Mike. And of course, one of the things to keep in mind is that... Oh, no! Oh, poor Mike.
I don't think I've ever seen it happen quite like that.
No, I haven't seen it happen where you get stuck on it like that. I've seen it when you get stuck behind it, but not on not on a dead rock like that. Oh. Mike realizing he's gonna get those flippy floppies.
And speaking of Swamp, here goes Magno.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what is hiding in here. A lot of chests. It's a pretty dense check, or is it check dense? I would say probably other way around. Oh, Mike's going to do the thing.
Okay, he's going up to the top of Paradox. It'll get him to Mire, and it'll get him his flippers.
Yeah, I think he's probably doing some legwork here, being like, well, I went to here and I went to here, so this time if I go out here, do I end up somewhere else? And yes, there we go. He knows.
And he's got a shortcut right back to Dark Death Mountain to go to Swamp once he gets these flippers.
Yep. Dark Palace, small key for Magno. Gonna skip, looks like the left side of Swamp, and just go back.
That is all 6 pot smalls for Magno.
There we go. The bomb activated diver down there for Magno. Since we don't have Kane, we got to use the bombs to get that clip. Ooh, shovel.
Yay! All the fetch quests.
I love a good fetch quest seed. Well, watching people do a fetch quest seed. Don't love actually being part of running a fetch quest seed. And there's Argus. Hello, Argus. This should be a pretty quick fight for Magno. And Mike can go ahead and jump into Swamp as well. And 1 silver arrow does the trick.
And that's number 4 for Magno.
Yep. Nice clip there from Mike as well, using the bomb to clip around, having to go in the room and flip the switch to fill the water up.
Okay, left side Swamp from Structural Mike.
Working on getting the diver down here. Got it. I'm gonna pocket the key.
Wow, imagine getting stuck on a live dead rock.
I think that'd be even worse. That would be like, I can't kill it because I'll just be stuck even more.
Whoever came up with dead rocks. Ugh.
Probably Miyamoto or something. Alright, Mike going down, checking the left chest first. Hey, there's Ether.
Cool, that gets us another entrance.
You know, I'm thinking about this, Blue. What if Desert Back is in Meyer entrance?
Oh, that would be pretty funny.
Because we haven't seen it yet, and I'm trying to think of locations we haven't been able to access, and Vanilla Desert entrance is one of them. Or Vanilla Meyer entrance, I should say, is one of them.
Yeah, that's true. Also, did anybody check the medallion requirement for TR?
I don't think we did. I don't think we've seen that yet. We've seen them kind of float around on top of Dark Death Mountain, but we haven't seen anybody, I think, go over to Turtle Rock yet.
Okay, Magno is into Skullwoods to clear this too. Okay, so he can do this. He can do Thieves Town when he finds it. He can do Pod. We'll find the Eastern Big. He can do Eastern, and he has a glove now. He can do Ice. As soon as he finds Desert Back, that would be go mode for him. You know, I had an awful thought. What if Desert Back... No, never mind, that doesn't work. What I was going to say is, what if Samaria was behind on Landmos, but there's a Triforce piece on Landmos, so that can't be the case.
Right. In a vanilla game where we weren't Triforce hunting, possible. Also mean. But yes, in like a vanilla cross keys situation, that would certainly, I feel like, be a possibility.
Well, Magno is briefly tied up on Triforce piece count.
Yeah, Mike will have a little bit longer of a fight. I mean, a little bit as in like maybe half a second. Maybe half a second. Oh, gonna save and quit.
Yeah, he knows he does not need that crystal.
Yep, it's not one of the red ones. I don't need it.
Oh, our lamp was just here on Bombo's tablet? That's gross.
Yep. I think Ikea was thinking the same thing I was thinking, which is Pyramid Fairy is Desert back.
Yep, that's also possible.
Yep.
And the big key to Meyer was the mushroom turn-in.
Yep.
So even though Magno's behind by one Triforce piece, I think he's got a pretty good lead here, actually. Having that glove and being very close to go mode.
I think that's probably, I'd say probably a really good spot to be in. You just want to be, like, ideally you want to be no items away from go mode. You want to be in go mode, but if you're going to be in go mode, be one item away and have few places to check. Be thorough, but not too thorough. You don't want to have to be like checking every tiny little out of the way place to try and find an item.
Okay, but there is the Desert Big for Structural Mike, so his gloves are now available. But what kind of sucks is to get that Thieves Town Big, you need to dip Meyer.
Yeah, so one of the other locations that Magno is going to be able to check here that we have not seen for items is back half of Thieves Town. Remember that Mike went in here and did the front half, did not have the big key. Magno does have the big key and has had it for a while, so we'll be able to go to the back half to see if there's anything hiding back there. Smario could be there.
It could. Okay, Structural Mike is in one of the right places. This is good.
Thank you for the. I feel like that's got to be one of the more deflating things. You open up a chest and you're just like, you have found the compass or the map of this dungeon. I'm like, yeah, I really needed that. Thank you. Just 10 bombs upstairs, so. The issue here being that Magno, we don't have that second key yet, so that's going to be an extra check that we might not be able to do.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good leaving it behind, but what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's not one you want to leave behind if you can, because it's just really hard. It's so hard to get to if there's an item there you need. If it's Samaria or something like that, you need to go there at some point. It's just like, you got to go back down. You got to go all the way through again, and just it takes forever, and it's just not fun. But Magno's going to prioritize, I think, taking care of Blind first here.
It's a little bit funny that Magno found the Thieves Town Big while Mike was in Thieves Town, and now Structural Mike's gonna do the same. The other glove was in Meyer. Wow, that's actually huge for Structural Mike.
There's the TT big key. Yeah, that's huge for Mike because that means it doesn't have to go back into desert. Yeah, that's Not bad. Hey, magic powder.
And green pendant for Magno. Okay, this is exciting, because those mitts are now available. And
I was gonna say, oh,
that unlocks Smith Chain.
yep. Oh, Mike's looks like he's death warping out. Yeah, not gonna go back and take on Vidi right now. Can't anyways. Doesn't have the cane, so can't complete that dark room.
Okay, now having 3 swords, Structural Mike is gonna climb GT and get his 7th Triforce piece.
Have we seen Spike Cave yet, Blue?
We have not.
This is a new check for Magno here. Will be interesting to see if the cane's hiding here or if it's something else. Nope. Mike's going to the top, going to pick up Triforce piece number 7. And we're just going to go to the top and get that one off Mordorm 2.
Oh, here's Hype Cave.
Oh boy. Ice Palace small. Hair is small.
Oh, we just wanted to see that, didn't we?
Ice Palace small. Very interesting.
Okay, Magno is going to pod. Well, checking these entrances first. He knows he's looking for dungeon entrances now. He's got the Desert Small.
It's one of the things too, Blue, is at this point in the game, you kind of have to really feel frustrated that you're not in go mode. Now, like an hour and a half in, you know it's going to be a tough seed, right? Cross keys has always been a tough go, but it's especially tough when you're like one item away as Mike picks up that 4th sword. And you're just like looking for that, and you're just trying to be like, okay, where have I gone? Where do I still have to go? Like, gosh, is it in this really hard to get to place? I don't really want to have to go there, but maybe I do. And you know, it can kind of mess with your head a little bit if you're an experienced runner. You probably have been through that situation before, so it's probably not the worst thing in the world. But if you're relatively new to it, if this is your first tournament, if this is something that you're still learning how to do, it can mess with you a little bit. So that is something you do want to be careful of, not letting it kind of mess with your mind a little bit. You got to keep a clear mind. You got to have kind of a plan, so to speak, just to keep checking these things and do the best you can to try and find that missing item by prioritizing high density locations, places that are easy to get to, places that are along the way here that that you can get to.
It's the speed of decision making and the quality of it that really impresses me about the runners who are really good at this. Structural Mike did not scum the Hyrule Castle small key and check the back of Escape, so he doesn't know that these 3 items are useless, which is why he's doing Agatu.
Right. And like that's one of the things too that as someone who's commentating or someone who's watching, like it's hard to think about because we have Magno's doing the hover too. Oh, that was a good attempt. It's real easy to be able to. Oh, trying to get so close. I think Magno's got it. I think just try. It's definitely is the hover. It saves a lot of time if you can get it. But yeah, we have this foresight. We're able to watch multiple people are in the same seed, so we know that we know it's there, and it's why isn't runner going here? It's kind of like they don't know what we know because we have info that they don't have. So unless you're doing like a 2 or 3 player match, or you're doing something team space where you have like 2 people working together calling out where things are, you don't get that kind of info in these qualifier matches or these head-to-head matchups that you'll see in the tournament. So it just makes it really difficult sometimes, especially when you have a lot of places to check, when the world is very open and there's not like a clear path that you can go to. It makes it very difficult sometimes to make some decisions, and that's just general human nature. You have a lot of options. You want to try and pick the one that we know is the right option, but if you got 3 places to check and they're all of potentially equal value, how do you determine which one it is without having that knowledge of what's in those locations?
That is very true. Okay, Magno's got the lamp, though. This is going to make the Dark Turtles palatable.
Way easier. Way easier when you can see where the turtles are.
So, at this point, I'd say Structural Mike has taken the lead back because he's doing Thieves Town for number 8. He can do Ice for number 9. And he's already got the Meyer big key, so if Samaria turns up, he can do Meyer, and if the Desert back turns up, that is also his 10th Triforce piece. Yeah,
he's got good options here for some quick fights too. Like he's got he's got 2 half dungeons left to complete. If he either finds Samaria or he finds Desert back half, he's got either of those options for number 10. Like you said, Blue, Ice is a good 9, so this will be a relatively quick 8. Again, I think he's not going to have the key here, so we're going to probably see him skip this on this left as well, and just go do the blind fight. Which, for those who've never done this fight and maybe wondering about how it is, it's not difficult. Oh, you forgot he didn't have the key, so
wishful thinking.
Yeah, maybe if I hit it hard enough, it'll just open.
Okay, so the extra keys that Magno had got him the flute from the vanilla big key chest, but that's about it. Alright, that's Triforce piece number 8 for Structural Mike.
Nutri in chat mentioned Catfish. We haven't seen Catfish yet. That is an option if you're a runner. That's not an option you really want to have to go do because it's kind of a hike, but it's an option. It's on the table.
And this looks like Structural Mike going straight for Ice Palace.
Yeah, seems like that's what it is to me as well.
And if Samaria is here, that's going to be go mode and a pretty good lead for Structural Mike.
And he's gonna he sees that Spike Cave and he actually nopes out of it, which Mike doesn't know that that's well, he might be just checking Light World side as well. And you find Type Cave here, so probably do this one first and see what's in here. It's got those. It's gonna have like those 2 Ice Palace keys, so yeah, I think this is probably an Ice Palace play.
Yeah, they'll help with routing, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, skipping Spike Cave makes sense when you're gonna do ice anyway, and it's way more dense.
Yep.
But Type Cave, of course, is just 5 items right now.
Yep. And Magno has turned the goose loose here. Got the bird.
And Magno, I think, is going to Village of Outcasts here for Eastern.
Yes.
The flute was in the pod big key chest.
Yes.
Oh, there's the Hyrule Castle symbol key.
Hey, there we go.
Well, things are getting exciting. 2 more checks coming up for Structural Mike. And that's piece number 8 for Magno. Of course, he hasn't checked Ped, so he's going to pick up this pendant.
Both runners doing okay on Triforce and time here, so not doing too bad.
Are we going to Catfish?
We might. So, I do have a thought here. If TR Big Key shows up soon, we may not need Samaria. If Mike just decides, heck with it, I'm gonna hover the gap to get the Trinex.
That would be pretty funny if we ended up with a hovering duel. Who can hover it first? Also, I had a thought. If Samaria does turn up, it's going to be better for Magno because Turtle Rock is faster to get to the boss than Meyer is.
Yes.
Well, that was a spectacularly fast Cold Stare kill for Triforce piece number 9.
Gonna save and quit out of here. Knows he does not need that crystal.
In fact, it doesn't even matter if it's crystal or pendant to him at this point. So, we need Samaria, or we need Desert Palace back.
At 140, I get the feeling we're gonna find something here shortly that's gonna tip the scales in the go mode. We're just running out of locations. Really just needs to show up at some point. Oh, Mike is going up to the Bombos now. We know that's the lamp. So, oh, that's actually a Ike here pointing out our wonderful tracker. Magno does have Turtle Rock B key, so if Magno is just going to go to the back and just hover the gap to try next, he might be in theoretical go mode here.
That is a tall order, but it is doable.
No. It is a tall order. It's very difficult because it's such a long gap. But one of the things I think we've seen a lot of runners start to pick up like hovering. So I think we may very well see that happen here. We know both these runners are hover capable. So Mike picking up the Titan's mitt.
Oh, Structural Mike has... I thought there was a chance we could have actually not seen anybody get the mitts this seed, but he's not going to get the 2 items on right side desert.
No.
Or he could grab the smith. Oh, he's just going to... Okay. I guess this is fine?
Yep. So yeah, if they're gonna hover here, then Mike just needs the Turtle Rock big key, and Magno would be ready to rock and roll here. We'll see probably in a moment if that's the play, or if that's a different thing is the case. But we are seeing Mike is going ahead and doing the Smith return, only getting 10 arrows out of it, so unfortunately it was not the King of Samaria.
Well, Magno has tied up the Triforce count at 9.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Oh, Meyer Shed.
This is a new check. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, huh, okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought we saw this before. I didn't think we'd seen it before. We had, apparently, because it's red mail, and Magno already had it.
Okay, Structural Mike's got his Turtle Rock Big, so he's got his choice of dungeons. As soon as we get Samaria. Oh, checkerboard cave. We didn't have a glove when we were in the mire area.
Ooh, good point.
There it is.
There's the back half. Yep.
That's go mode.
Who needs Trinex? You just go to the back half and do land molas. There we go.
I'm really wondering though, is this one of those illusion of choice seeds? Like, did Samaria?
Oh,
Is Structural Mike gonna go for the hover?
I think so.
Oh, this is gonna be amazing.
It's a race to 10 right now. I kind of like Magno's odds a little better right now. It's the easier fight. So I don't know. It's gonna be really close.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Mike's gonna go for the hover.
I have never seen this successfully done before.
I have seen this done before, and it's amazing. I saw Chex Human do it once.
Hey, and you got the torches to mark your progress and cheer you on.
Yeah. Yes, this is why I like Magno's decision a little bit more here. Now that he knows he's got Desert back half here, is because this is such a quick fight with Silvers. Yeah, he's gonna have that 10th Triforce piece. Oh, you can pick a pendant. Oh, this is so close.
Okay, there's one torch.
Yep.
Keep going. Just halfway there.
Super
impressive.
This
is amazing. I can't believe we're seeing this.
Super
in real
impressive.
Time.
It is. Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing. And Mike's gonna.
Congratulations, Structural Mike. That's one of the most impressive things I have seen in this game ever.
He will make super quick work of this fight, but Magno is now in the lead with that 10th Triforce piece. So may have just flipped this quote unquote head to head on its lid a little bit here.
Wow. So Triforce piece number 10 for Structural Mike. It's time for him to go fight Ganon.
Meanwhile, Magno is fighting Ganon, so Magno has taken the lead here in this race between these two. Of course, they're also racing everybody else who's doing the qualifier today. Good, strong first two phases for Magno. He's getting the warps. There we go. That's one. This should be a very, very quick phase 4 when we get to it. But Mike's not too far behind. This will be a very close finish between these two. And they're both in Ganon at the same time here, but Magno's got the little bit of a head right now. As long as he doesn't mess this up, I think he should take this with a pretty good time. Doesn't get the torch glitch, but
Sets up for the triple. He's got this. He's got this. Nicely. No, not quite. Okay. There we go.
Now. Yep. There we go. A little bit of drama for the end here, but Magno, about to cross that bridge, was behind for a bit here, but a little bit of routing difference here at the very, very end put him ahead of Mike, and he's going to cross with a 147.31. I'm sorry, but our princess is in another castle. I think you could have just left it at the first part, just I'm sorry, and that would have been appropriate.
Well, Magno is going to finish in 4th place with that time. An excellent time. You know, we forgot to mention, there were 43 runners in this qualifier.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, so
and Structural Mike finishing off Ganon shortly after Magno. He's going to finish with an official time of,
drum roll, so 148 something.
148.16, just 45 seconds back, and that's good for 6th place. We had magnet hands in between the two of them.
So yeah, just to do a quick rundown here.
Spectacular times from
two
very good runners.
Yeah, excellent run here, but super quick rundown. Faker Jr. with a 142.35, finishing P1, P2, wall kicks 143.41, and then just ahead of Magno Humbug with a 146.33 is our P3 finisher, and then Magno P4, Magnet Hands, as we mentioned, P5, Structural Mike 6th. So There we go. And I think we've got Mike and Magno in here. GG's to both of you. Excellent, excellent run for
That
both
was an
of you. That
amazing
was
race.
fantastic.
And the ending was spectacular.
Yeah, I
GG's.
saw Mike pulled off the Turtle Rock hover. I was gonna do the same, but my hovers in the all the way in Turtle Rock for Trinex aren't that as consistent nowadays or recently. I was gonna hover if the last entrance without mids wasn't desert. I was also gonna try and hover.
Yeah, so I think that was the 45-second difference in time was just Magno going through the back half of desert versus Mike doing the hover across and taking out Trinex. So little bit of a time difference, but y'all were pretty close for most of this match, and then kind of went back and forth, seesawed a little bit, but y'all were kind of sitting on same items and pretty much the same dungeons for quite a while. So
Well,
how's everyone feeling?
Well, I hear there's a flute I was missing out on, so I want to call out Magno for cheating me on the flute.
Cheating you? Wait, how many pot spots did you have when you entered?
I had 3.
Oh.
Yeah. I did Helma in the dark on Fire Sword. It took forever. It was not a time. Couldn't hover the backup pod, sadly.
Dang. I was gonna go up to the mountain again with the boots, but then I found hookshot in GT. I was like, okay. Because I got to CAC my first time around with the granny connector from the mountain. So first, yeah, I just went into the Lightworld hype cave and just, well, I'm rescuing the old man now.
Yeah, I was on such a connector journey for a long time.
Oh yeah. I was specifically looking for connectors since I got the mirror and no glove, no hammer. So
yeah, and then I scouted flippers on Desert Ledge at some point, and like, okay, I gotta check connectors for reals now. Ended up not taking the spectacle drop because I hovered that, which would have given me flippers earlier. Instead, we got there through Paradox Cave in GT and mirrored. Yeah, I was in either in the Sumaria tier big or Fine Desert. I was
I was also in that kind of go mode, but I was Find Desert or Eastern Big Key, and alongside with the Turtle Rock hover. But yeah, I was just checking the last remaining entrances if that was desert, and it was.
Yeah, and for those playing along at home and wondering where was that Canis Samaria, our friend Wallkicks, who's in chat, is telling us it was at Catfish. So yeah, it was the one spot that was way out of the way from everything else.
Imagine. What do you think about that, Magno? Catfish, yay or nay?
I mean, it takes so long, and I didn't have a glove for the most part. Like, I didn't go into desert for such a long time because I was taking connectors and couldn't get back to Village of Outcast really quick. So I was missing out on hammer and glove for such a long time. And when I got those two, I was basically in I need to find dungeons go mode and not the one single one-off item that is at Catfish. So yeah, I did check the entrance of Dark Witch Hut, but I was gonna try to hover because Catfish nay.
Yeah, pretty much. Like once I got the glove, which was very late, and we got different gloves, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up finding mitts. I checked one mitts thing, and then I found tier big, but that was just no. I wanted to find mitts, kind of, to find Desert North, but then when I found it, I didn't want to have them. It's just
You didn't want to have the mids. Okay.
no, but I know I needed to find it in the north, so probably behind mids. This time it wasn't.
I mean,
But-
mids weren't so useful because we basically had every mids entrance. Like we had Maya area, we had the Ice
exactly.
Palace entrance. Mids were only gonna do Hammerpack's entrance, Turtle Rock entrance, and help me
Yeah,
out.
that's
I
it.
think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, just the two.
Well, you could also do Smith Chain. I did do hand in
lovely.
Smith
Fetch
on my
quest.
way to
Always
get
progression.
my tier B. Yeah, I think I got my 10 arrows from him. Thank you,
Mhm.
Smith. But yeah, this was such a fun seed. If you can hover, I apologize for nothing.
I would do it again. I mean, I slipped the first try pot right side, but yeah, I was so eager to do it. No, I wanted to do it because I did big key chest and drop down, and then I mirrored. So I was gonna hover this, but I don't know. I slipped a bunch.
Yeah, I think everyone was really happy with seeing y'all do some hovering because that was some mighty impressive work on both of your parts.
It's always great to see the masters doing what they're very good at. Structural Mike, I need to ask about that Turtle Rock hover to get the compass chest. Is that something you would usually do?
Yeah.
Define usually.
He's one of those guys, yeah.
Well, so I have a different risk reward calculation than most. My risk reward calculation is if this wins me a race, how many people do I piss off?
And that's like 1,000 times better than wasting a minute and losing because of it.
Yeah. I got a GT small from it, so I could avoid getting the mini helmet key on climb, so that saved a few seconds. Yay.
I was climbing so early, but like, I mean, obviously you climbed in this one, but it just, I don't know, it felt weird not having a glove or hammer for the most part. It was, I mean, logically you should take the hookshot connector, I think, and get your hammer and like not bunny walk, but like walk in the dark world to the Arrow Game House, get your glove from your hammer from Desert. I don't recall where Desert Big was though.
Well, you can take Potion Shop connected to the forest. That's how I got
true.
there.
Yeah, but that's lamp locked. That's
Oh, is
dirty,
it?
dirty.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, fire rod connector. Oh, that's awful. No, don't do that. Actually, when I got to the dark for the first time, I found Desert and left. I didn't get my hammer. And then went on like a series of 8 connectors and ended up, well, I found the other end of Desert through TL Edge. Like, and didn't miss out on my hammer. Then I mirrored, found pod, and like, I guess I'm clearing pod on 3 keys right here. So the sea was kind of nice in that way, except that I guess I missed flute.
I was trying not to chase the one check you just unlocked. Like, I got shoveled somewhere and I just wasn't gonna, I need to do the one check now I can do. I tried to do not chase all the one-offs or do the fetch quest potion shop.
I found Potion Shop like way later. I hadn't checked that entrance. So
you had
it's
it turned in
already handed in.
Okay,
Yeah. So otherwise I would never had that first glove, I think.
Yeah, I stayed a little too long in the light world. I full cleared that before I took the connectors again that I knew that were in the dark world. But yeah, it's so rude when you hover like Specbrock and see a big key and then it's just a Skullwood's big key, which you just did, and it's in the middle entrance.
Oh, you had just done it too? Oh no.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in there.
It was so bad. Obviously, you go back at some point. But
Well,
I was
I
on
got
one
there-
heart. I couldn't bomb jump back, so I had to take the connector. Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah,
then I was
that's what
in the shopping
happened
mall.
to me. Like I found a connector from K45 to Bumper Ledge, dropped down, hovered Spectacle Rock to Dark Shopping Mall, and took the Higher Castle connector to TR Ledge, and then ended up in Desert again.
Hmm.
So that's why I wasn't in Skullwoods first. But yeah. Can't believe you beat me though. That's unfair.
It was very close throughout. To be quite fair, it was going to come down to, who got that 10th piece first, and then went off to Ganon. That's really all it came down to, and it was a matter of a handful of seconds here and there.
Can't believe
Yeah.
Wally beat us with catfish play.
I guess I did too many checks compared to Magno.
Well, I reset at least 4 of them, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that reminds me. Magno.
Yeah.
What was your reasoning for fighting Aga 2?
Yeah, I just forgot, and then I wanted to get on top of the pyramid really quick. In my head, I was thinking, wait, getting all the way around Darkworld just to be here it's so slow. And when I was fighting him, I was like, dude, I have a spawn. This is so bad.
Had you already done the back whiskey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I stole the key and yeah.
Right.
And then I reset it.
Right. I used the key for Cellar Cell since I knew I was gonna climb in the seed regardless. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I didn't come. Like, I save scummed the key with the reset, but I never came back because it was just so bad. It's just for 2 checks when you come back, and it's at at shopping mall. You never come back.
Yeah. I in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have fought Aga 2, especially since I knew he was Samaria locked with that GT small. But whatever.
Oh, that's a nice piece of information then. I didn't have.
Yeah, it also meant Swamp Small was Samaria locked from left side GT, but I don't even remember what was in Swamp now.
Nothing, I guess.
Does anyone else remember?
I didn't do the left side.
Not a whole lot. I remember Ether was hanging out on the left
What,
side.
you
and
didn't do left side?
No, I wasn't. I was in Go mode
man.
basically. I had 3 different Go modes, kind of.
Right.
Like Eastern
Skipping
Big.
left side Swamp in a qual. What a madman.
3 different Go modes.
What a madman.
I was sure
Holy
Samaria
shit.
would be just somewhere.
Get out of here.
Apparently it was. I didn't do iced tea.
What? Oh, it's ridiculous.
I had to beat Mike, dude.
Man, I didn't realize I was gonna have to skip things. Jesus.
Jesus, dude, I have a smaller collection rate. That didn't come from nowhere.
Yeah, no,
it's-
that makes sense. Well, this is all fun. I can't wait to play more Cross Hunt. Hopefully, also with boots.
Oh, I never practiced one. Like, it's not a big difference to cross keys. It's just there's a piece on the boss. And someone just told me just before the race started that the Skullwoods pinball room doesn't have a small key anymore.
Yeah.
So
It
there
does
was half
not.
magic if you missed that.
Yep. And you spawn as a bunny in the Dark World.
Oh, that was so dumb. Out of reflex, I went to the chest and I was like, dude, what?
Oh, is that a new thing?
It's
It's a door branch thing.
Oh, okay. I was wondering
Yes.
because I didn't remember that happening before.
No, so you spawn as a bunny if you don't have Moonpearl if the place is in the Dark World. And this is rolled in the door branch because they needed to plan the Triforce pieces. So they had to use that branch instead of VTorp. And that's why we are here.
That's why there's a fire rod on Skywoods. No. That was
It doesn't
funny.
mean that Moonpal could be on Mothula. Woo!
Oh,
Because otherwise, normally there's always a key in Skull, and there's that key is always Moonpal locked. So normal cross keys can never have a Moonpal on Moth.
all these little details to learn.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and like GT being open, and Mike, that's how you found your way into Paradox Cave to get your swords.
Yeah, like 8 out.
Wait, you
I
didn't
think.
splash delete early on? What a madman.
But no, I had things to hover and Dark World to
true.
mirror in.
Oh. Oh.
Well, yeah,
So-
this is fun. I gotta go. You gotta raid.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
No.
you.
Been a
Thank you
long
so-
time since we both finished. Yeah.
Absolutely, but yeah, thank you so much, both of you, for doing this and for being so entertaining. I definitely feel like it was a very good, very good race between you two. Even though you also were racing like 41 other people. So, but yeah, make sure to follow Mike and Magno. Their channel links are in the chat right now. Give them a follow. Both really good runners, and we were very lucky to have both of them on our restream today.
Yeah, thank you all for doing this, for the restream, for comms and tracking. GG's Mike, GG's everyone else racing this.
GG's. Thank you for the kind words, guys, and thanks for the restream.
Of
Have a
course.
good night.
And also want to thank our wonderful trackers, I'm going to get this wrong, but Rex Sharna and I here. Thank you so much for doing the big complicated button pressing that makes the trackers go.
Yeah, they were absolutely on top of things.
Absolutely, it's great when we have two really great trackers doing it, and thankfully our community, we have a lot of awesome people who volunteer to help track. So these two are among that group. It's very cool to have them here to help us out. And of course, Blue Link, thank you so much for doing commentary with me. It was a wonderful adventure.
Yeah, my pleasure. Hopefully we'll get to do this again.
Of course. And yeah, as always, folks, remember, someone out there loves you. We love you too. Next qualifier is going to be on Tuesday, so we'll have a fresh set of runners, fresh set of comms, and yeah, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. Take care. Have a wonderful afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Maybe morning. I don't know. Time is funky like that, and we have a lot of people who watch us from all over the world. So, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time.